Good morning, friends, and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets have been quiet for the past couple of days, but S&P continues to remain at a record high, and earnings season has been mixed there. European markets too were down about 0.25 to almost about 0.4%. No major data points to look at. Even the 10-year bond yields in US hovers around 2.51. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, after 2 days of good run, most of the markets are cautious. The Japanese markets are down about 0.6%, and same is the case with Chinese and Korean markets. They are down anywhere from 0.25 to almost about 0.5%. Also today morning, we had the Chinese manufacturing index, the HSBC PMI manufacturing index data for July that came out, and the number was 47.7 versus 48.1 in the previous month. So the manufacturing activity in China has slowed down to 11-month low, and that could definitely have a negative bearing on the commodity stocks today morning. In terms of flows, friends, FIs were net bias in the cash market to the tune of about 211 crore. The domestic institutions too were biased in the cash market to the tune of 61 crore. And in index futures also we had seen a buying to the tune of about 1031 crore. Yesterday we had a fantastic session for the market, and after crossing an important hurdle of about 6070, the market actually closed somewhere around 6077 or thereabouts. But yesterday, because of the kind of additional steps that the RBI has taken to curb the forex volatility, which indirectly would amount to increase in the CRR, today morning the SGX is suggesting that we are going to have a weak start to the tune of about 37 to 38 points, and banking sector in particular could be adversely affected by this, and even the 10-year bond yields have actually shot up to 8.17 yesterday when the market closed. So today morning it remains to be seen at what level the bond yields open up. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues, data and strategies that we can have in the F&O markets.
Good morning, friends. Let's have a view at derivatives. Friends, this is for the fourth day in a row we have seen that long positions have been accumulated in the market, as around 19.85 lakh shares were added in open interest, and cost of carry has also increased. So that's been indicating the confidence in the market is still intact. And talking about the PCR ratio has shot up from 1.32 to 1.38, as the activity on the put side has been gearing up faster than that of call side. It's clearly visible from the option matrix that 6100 call as well as put option of the August series has seen good amount of activity. Whereas if we talk about the current series, 6200 call option and put option has seen good activity, and on lower side 6100 put option and 6000 put option has seen good amount of activity taking place. So this has been suggesting as we are approaching towards the future and options expiry, the activity is getting squeezed, and due to which the market has been trading in this narrow range of say around 100 points from last 2 days. Now as we are trading above our VWAP, our bias for the market is positive. SGX Nifty is suggesting an negative opening, so level of 6000 might continue to act as a good support on closing basis for the market. And from intraday perspective, Idea Cellular is looking weak, so one can go short with stop loss of 151 rupees 65 paisa. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, the companies which would be announcing numbers. Hero MotoCorp, we are looking at a net profit of about 545 crore. Apart from that, there are also expectations that the company may announce dividend anywhere from about 60 to 75 rupees per share. Kane India, we are looking at a net profit of about 2,850 crore. Ambuja Cement, the expectation is that the numbers are going to be muted. The consensus is about 340 crore, and as per the market buzz, the actual number could be somewhere around 310 odd crore. Stock has been actually weak for the past couple of days, so there could be a quick negative reaction in Ambuja Cement. And Yes Bank, the net profit number is about 378 crore. Importantly, RBI has yesterday evening taken further steps to control the liquidity in the system, which could actually amount to increase in the short-term interest rates, and some of the banks which are heavily dependent upon the short-term funding through the fixed deposits or other tools could be affected. So the banks like Canara Bank, IDBI, Yes Bank, Central Bank, Corporation Bank and Axis Bank are the ones which could get affected by the recent steps that the RBI has taken to control liquidity and control the volatility in the forex market in particular. Talking about the steps that the RBI has taken, first of all, RBI has restricted the limit of the individual banks to borrow from the RBI from 1% to about 0.5%. So this is actually going to curtail liquidity for the banks which is available at their disposal, and also importantly the cash reserve ratio requirement, wherein the banks are supposed to maintain a certain amount of cash with the RBI on a regular basis. That number, which is around 70%, which needs to be adjusted on a fortnightly basis. Now the RBI has mandated that it has to be maintained on a daily basis, about 99%. So this is likely to suck out liquidity from the banking system to the tune of about 90,000 crore, and we have seen the bond yields actually spiking up to almost about 8.16, and today morning it can actually go up further to about 8.25. So this is definitely negative for the banking sector as a whole, and particularly some of the banks which I have outlined earlier. SpiceJet chief executive has put in his papers because of the differences with the management, and he has actually done this 18 months before his scheduled retirement. So definitely this is a bit of a negative for SpiceJet. And Maruti has threatened to shut its Manesar unit in Haryana because it's not willing to pay the extra 500 crore for the land which they have taken there. So there is some negative reaction that one can expect in Maruti stock today. Tata Motors is looking at launching about 6 to 8 new models over the next 3 to 4 months as some of the key management personnel met in Pune, and they are looking at launching these models over the next 2-3 months. So watch out for some action in Tata Motors. And SAIL is increasing its capacity to 24 million tons per annum with investment lined up to the tune of about 1.2 lakh crore. This is what company is likely to achieve by 2022. Coming to the stock specific news, NTPC will invest about 8,900 crore to develop its own mines and reduce the share of imported coal in the total consumption. So one can go long on NTPC with a stop loss of 140 and a target of about 147 to 150. SpiceJet, the ministry is likely to regulate the airfares through a CCI, and the airfare monitoring cell is ready, and it would be soon commissioned under the leadership of the aviation minister, and this is definitely a bit of a negative for the aviation sector as a whole, and particularly SpiceJet. We think it could actually get severely affected by that. So one can short it with a stop loss of 28.25 and a target of about 25.50. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great trading session. See you tomorrow at the same time.